Good evening, and welcome to this presentation about German 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5 AP for Back to School Night at West Potomac High School. My name is Frau Waltner, Ms. Waltner, but the students all call me Frau Waltner. This is my 5th year in FCPS, and I have bounced around a bit between different schools in FCPS. I was actually at West Potomac part-time 2 years ago and 4 years ago. So I've had some of my upper level students already when they were in the lower levels. And I've also now have siblings of some of my past students. So it's nice to get to know families and not just one student. I'm originally from Colorado, but I've lived all over the US and also in different German-speaking countries in Europe. My educational background started with a bachelor's degree with a major in German, and then ended with a PhD in German literature from the University of Pennsylvania. I really love sharing my passion for German culture and German language with my students and opening up to them new perspectives from around the world. I always love it so much when my students have the opportunity to travel to Germany and are able to actually use the German we've learned in class and have already a sense of what the German-speaking people are thinking because we have talked about it in my class. My husband and I are a teaching couple. He's a high school history teacher, and I have 2 young adult children. My 2 children are now both out on their own. And so my husband and I are experiencing being empty nesters for the first time this year. But we do have 2 cats who live with us. And then my daughter and son, who share an apartment right now, also have 2 cats. So we are a big cat family. This slide gives you an overview of the themes for the year in each of the different levels. These are themes that are set by the district. And then we go into depth on each of these different units. Just a few words about the 4-5 AP. Because we do not have very many students in any of those levels, they are all combined into one class. And for the purposes of that class, it is basically going to be structured as an AP class, and these are the AP themes for the year. There are different expectations as far as the language goes for students in German 4 versus German 5 versus AP. And if you have any further questions about that, feel free to reach out to me. As far as assessment and grading goes, we are using the rolling grade book, which means that students always have an idea where they are at grade-wise. They don't have to stop and calculate averages from previous quarters, right? And students will be allowed to resubmit or retake work, and there is no penalty for late work this year. And so the only thing that might turn up besides a grade in the grade book, well, there is an EXC excused code, but that is for something that a student missed and does not need to make up. But then there also might be one that says not turned in, and that means that that assignment is missing, and they will have until the end of the year to make it up. My deadline for work is usually about a week before the end of the school year, which will give me time to get everything graded. This year, one of the biggest changes as far as grading goes is that we are no longer using percentages. Instead, we are using the 4.0 grading scale. So that means that everything you see in the grade book will be either a 4, 3, 2, 1, or maybe occasionally a 0. And so there are no half points. And so these are the grades that the students will see and will receive back on their work. And we also are dividing things up in world languages by the 4 different skills of speaking, writing, listening, and reading. And if an assignment contains more than one skill, for example, if there is a quiz or a test that has both writing and reading and listening on it, it will actually be listed in the 3 different categories with a grade given for each category separately. If a student is absent, one of the greatest things about our technology now is that everything is posted on Schoology in folders by week, including note-taking sheets and also PowerPoints, which I use to teach from in the classroom. So students can actually take notes from home via Schoology using the combination of the note-taking sheet and the PowerPoint. And it is really recommended that students try to make up the note-taking or any smaller assignments before returning to class, because it's really difficult when a student has missed multiple classes in 1 or 2 days for them to get caught up in everything without feeling overwhelmed. So I really do recommend that if possible, and I stress to my students, obviously I'm not expecting students to be working on German from their sick bed, but once they feel better and they have some time before they come back to class, if they can at least get notes made up or a smaller homework assignment finished, they will not face the issue of falling behind. I do reach out via phone or email. Email is actually my preferred method of communication. I share the trailer with an English teacher, so I am only in the trailer for 2 periods on each day, and then I go elsewhere. So it is a little difficult to reach me via phone. If you do have an issue that you want to particularly discuss over the phone, please send me an email and we can set up a time to talk on the phone. I hope that this short presentation has given you a little bit of a sense of what your student will be encountering this year in German. And I want to thank you so much for sharing your student with me this year. It is such a delight to get to go into the classroom and see their faces every day and know that behind their masks, they are smiling as I am, because they are enjoying getting to know the German language and culture. Thank you so much.